Hi, I'm Theo Anist, and I'm going to be tying the hothead pine squirrel leech. This is a size 10 200R, and I'm using a 7/64 orange tungsten plummeting bead. So first thing, as far as thread, I like to use an orange thread on here. I'm using a UTC 140. So first thing, I'm going to advance my thread back to the hook point, which will be the tie-in point that I've found to be best for tying on a pine squirrel so that it doesn't foul around the hook as much. Along those lines, the second thing I found is that if you don't want the tail on this fly to wrap around the hook, you can't make it too long. So I used to do it where the skin was the length of the hook, and that just fouled up a lot too much. So now I do it where the entire tip of the hair, everything, I want that to be about the length of the hook, which is about right there. So I'm going to tie that in, and you'll see I've kind of parted the hide so I have a nice tie-in point. And I'm going to tie that in right at the hook point. I'll make sure it's flush on top. 1, 2 tight wraps, and then a couple tight wraps down right in front of it. Then I'm going to advance my hook, or I'm sorry, my thread rather, to 3/4 the front of the hook. And then I'm going to make sure that that's staying right over the top. And I'm going to part the hair once more and just find a good little tie-in point where I do this without catching any hair. Just want to rock your thread through there once, twice. And as far as this final step, now I'm going to do the collar. And I've found that 2 wraps, once it gets wet, mats down a little too thin. So I think 3 wraps right here is the perfect amount. That doesn't leave any exposed thread and just snugs securely against the bead, and also gives the fly a good profile. So we're going to go 3 spins. There's 1. And with each spin I just wet my fingers, sweep all the hair back. There's 2. And then there's spin number 3. At this point, I want to make sure that I get a good place to secure it with the thread without catching a bunch of hairs that'll make it fuller on one side than the other. So I'm going to wrap 2 on top with 2 right behind, and I want to get in here as tight as I can. And sharp scissors definitely make that easier, and cut all the excess pine squirrel. And then 1 more wrap just for safe measures. And then I'm going to whip finish. And that right there is a hothead pine squirrel leech.